That was a weird point to come into the
Yes,
conversation.
it was.
really
It
was.
was
It
very
really
weird.
was. But just talking about drama with people and basically me saying that, I don't even care anymore. I'll tell someone straight up, no, I don't want to hang out with you. You know what I mean? I just don't. I don't have
That
the
is
patience.
liberating, I think.
I
Just
don't have the
like
patience anymore to do shit like that. I don't have the.
So is that you saying you don't want to hang out with us? Or are you ending the show
No,
right
I'm
now?
here. I'm
Is this
here.
the final
what
episode?
a way to tell us. I mean,
Yeah.
really.
No, I'm here. I would just tell you. I would be more professional than that. I just wouldn't.
Would you
Bullshit.
though?
You a
Welcome to the
I don't believe
professional?
that
podcast,
for a
everybody,
second.
and fuck these guys.
Even you don't believe that you'd be professional about it. I mean, come
A
on,
little
be
bit,
honest with yourself.
I don't know. I'd be more respectful
Oh
to you
yeah.
guys in those terms.
I'd like
Yeah,
to
what's
think
going
so.
on? We're gonna talk
Not
about
much.
all the new books coming out later on this week. Actually, like just a few short hours for the DC stuff.
Yeah.
And man, Marvel got a hell of DC's got some damn good books. We're gonna talk about them in a little while. But what's going on? What'd you guys do today? Anything fun? Memorial Day, where we remember all of our fallen heroes and things like that. Props to that sort of thing. But
No, I've just been lazy all weekend. Caught up on some wrestling earlier this morning.
Oh,
Double or
gosh.
Nothing was last night. I don't know if we're doing that show tomorrow or not. Jules never responded. Whether
Yeah,
or not
usually
he's...
we first Tuesday of the month we have the Marketplace, which is our real wrestling podcast review and shit. And yeah, Jules was supposed to do this show tonight. It's a little bit of weird short notice.
I mean, it happens.
But yeah, he's supposed to do that.
It is a
wrestling
holiday.
tomorrow. Yeah, it's a holiday. Whatever.
Family stuff
It's
does
just a
happen on
fucking day
holidays.
off. It's just a fucking day off. What about you, Taylor? Anything cool on the day off?
Oh, the opposite. I did a bunch of errands today.
That's
you got
cool.
vacation, right? You're leaving.
Yeah, it's coming up soon.
Coming up. Had to get a bunch of shit done.
Well, I had to make sure like the lawn was mowed and things like that, so it's not like unconquerable by the time I get back.
Man, that's my problem. I have 3 kids. The kid who usually mows the grass has been gone now for like a week and a half. And I made him mow the grass like right before he left, but it's catching up to me. I'm going to have to make his ass come home just to mow the grass because I ain't fucking doing it. I didn't have kids so I could do stuff. I had kids so I wouldn't have to do stuff. All right? It's little slaves running around doing my bidding.
Well, like the olden days where like they're mostly just farm hands,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And if worse comes to worse, if there wasn't enough meat to eat during a harsh winter, we would eat the youngest. It never came to that, though. It never came to that.
Father of the year over here.
That's right. Bullies last night was great. There's nothing going on, and these guys still are able to just come up with something to bullshit about. It's hilarious.
I saw that they were trying to talk about the Eternals trailer, which more power to them because there's nothing to talk about from the Eternals trailer.
There's nothing to talk about at all.
That's basically what they were doing. It's like, man.
I mean, basically, like, who are the Eternals? Like, that's basically all you could like.
They don't tell you at all in the trailer.
He's like, Marvel is scraping the bottom of the barrel for heroes.
I saw that. I don't think that they're that far gone yet. I mean,
they're kind of.
Eternals is pretty Z-list, That's pretty.
Okay, the Eternals absolutely are like a very low tier Marvel characters, but I think that there's still plenty of good characters that they haven't used yet. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, without a doubt.
I don't know that they're turning to the Eternals out of desperation. I think that they could have.
Oh, sure.
There's several franchises they could have tried smacking around a few times before they got to Eternals. So I think that they're doing it voluntarily for whatever reason.
For story reasons, yeah. There's got to be a plot point, something going on there that's going to work to their advantage. But we are going to have hopefully top 5 next Tuesday. Again, it'll be a game time decision.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be on vacation, so.
Oh well, I don't want to do it when you're on vacation. We'll wait till Taylor's back, so it won't be next week either.
No, you don't have to. You guys are not going to like.
Well, we could do Geek Tyrion collection then, maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe we'll do a Geek Tyrion.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got to we'll come up with something. We'll come up with something, or maybe we'll just skip May altogether and we'll just push everything to June.
Next Tuesday, that ship has already sailed. I mean, the last day of May is today.
I know that's what I mean. We're skipping May. Well, we were gonna postpone the May show to the second week of June, and then still do something at the end of June. But now maybe we'll just say fuck it and just do something at the end of June. We've got plenty of time and all the freedom in the world. But let's talk about all the new comics coming out this week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this reminds me too.
Sheer fucking hubris.
It's true. How dare we? And we're gonna do a Star Trek show too, man. We're gonna find time, man. All these plans, you know. Best laid fucking plans.
Yeah. I mean, for the Star Trek thing, we gotta start, like, you know, what are we actually going to do, you know?
Greetings, geeks! Welcome back to another episode of This Geek in Comics. Outright Geeker's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
Adam Normal Taylor. Yeah, we're talking about the Star Trek show that we're gonna add. You know,
Are we gonna add it?
we're gonna add it
Eventually.
eventually. It's wide open though, man. We just need to knuckle down and just fucking decide.
Let's just pick an episode we all like and talk about that one first.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Drumhead or something dope. First episode. Doesn't matter. There's so many good ones. Anyway, but this episode right now, we are talking about all of the new comics coming out this week. DC is first because theirs come out first, June 1st. Tonight at midnight, technically. So yeah, let's get this show on the road. Batman 109.
Yep. Batman 109.
It's a
It's just
Batman
been
book.
okay. It's a Batman book, you know. It's half of DC's line. You know, Tinian keeps laying down the groundwork for whatever this new Fear event is going to be, with Scarecrow popping up. But and I'm just not interested in any of this stuff because it's all future state crap.
It is. It all does feel kind of bogged down, kind of like the Skywalker saga. We know
Yeah.
where everything is heading.
I guess they were betting pretty heavily on us being like, oh man, I love Future State, because like the whole rest of this year is just going to be getting back to where we already fucking were with Future State. And Future State was just kind of meh, so by consequence, all this Batman stuff is kind of meh, you know? They're building up to something that I'm not terribly invested in.
It is, man. Great art in the issue, though.
Oh, definitely. It's Batman.
sure,
They're always
yeah.
gonna have great art in it.
Always going to have
Yeah,
really
they're always
good
going to
point.
put their top bill artists on the Batman book, you know?
But I am just not a fan of Batman at all. I'm totally
You know, I
over
haven't
it.
been hating it. I mean, it's still been an okay
Yeah.
read. It's
I mean,
just,
but
it's just
so
hasn't.
much.
It should be better for what it is. You know,
Yeah.
I really like Tinian. I really think he's earned this Batman run. But now that he has this Batman run, he's kind of been dropping the ball.
The best thing I can say about it is that I'm still picking it up. I'm not
I'm still
terribly
picking it up,
excited
too.
about picking it up, but like,
Yeah.
it's
mean,
been
it's not
good
bad.
enough that I'm keep going. Yeah,
Batman, Catwoman, Clayman.
This
doing
is
some
bad.
I
great
can't say the
art,
same
but
thing about this. I dropped
Yeah,
this after
not
2
even-
issues.
I'm not
Honestly,
even
I
gonna
was
bring up
probably
two
pretty
issues.
generous to give it the 2 issues.
Yeah, I love the idea of Phantasm. You know, being
Yeah.
in there.
That is
But,
so
man.
squandered here. I mean, I like anything where they're gonna bring in Mask of the Phantasm is something that I wholeheartedly endorse.
It's to sell to me, you know. The Phantasm, I love the Phantasm. It's one of the I think it's like one of the best Batman movies ever, even with the live action ones.
Oh, for
I
sure,
think it
yeah.
is, for sure.
Right. And so it's just a pity that this book just sucks. Tom King just does not know how to pace anything anymore. It's crazy.
It feels like he's making it confusing, at least in terms of the pacing on purpose, which is just another reation that I didn't want to pick it up. He's
Maybe
trying
it would be
new
better in
things and
trade,
not
but
working.
I am not on
I doubt
board for
it.
this ride, you know?
DC's most popular book of the year, believe it or not, Batman.
Hell yeah, it
4901.
is.
Oh, I absolutely believe that. I mean,
Yeah, me
I've
too.
never been to the store where this was still on the shelf. So yeah, I totally buy that.
Well, I
This
always
is their
end
big
up at
seller.
I always end up at the shop early, you know, before they even open, just because the way my schedule works. And there's been 2 weeks that I've been up there where a kid has waited in line.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I literally said to him, I was like, "You here for the Fortnite comic?" He's like, "Yeah."
The last time I was there was a kid who I talked to for like 10 minutes who was like, "Yeah, this Batman Fortnite's the first Batman book I ever read, but I love comics
Oh,
now."
wow.
He was buying like $20 worth of books.
Nice.
I mean, honestly, that's pretty cool. I mean, mission accomplished then, right? They brought some
Right.
people into the fold.
Exactly. Again, if you see something, say something, chat. Batman the Adventure continues, season 2. I don't know if I have a preview for this because no, I do. I have a preview for this. So this is exactly what it is. It's Batman. It's the animated shit, right? Just continued.
Season 11
Is it season 2?
or season 2?
Is it season
Is it
11?
I don't know.
I guess it's comic season 11.
If it's the animated series, it was
two,
way
right?
more than 2 issues, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh well, whatever.
Who
I
knows?
think this
Who
is sort of a
cares?
retelling. This isn't.
I'm
for
not
me.
reading this.
Isn't. Yeah, this isn't. Dead Man does show up. I love Dead Man, but sorry, but this is not for me.
Nah, not at all.
Something that I'm interested in picking up.
Yeah.
The art is very rudimentary. The story is probably actually okay. You know, Alan Burnett and Paul Dini, they know how to write comics, but
Yeah.
I love this.
I mean,
Andrew McClain cover too.
It is kind of neat to see them aping Bruce Timm, but like, yeah, it's not something that I'm, super.
Yeah, not something.
Especially for $5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I love this. This is the season 1 trade. Definitely an animated series vibe there. So moving on to the third page, Catwoman Soul Stealer graphic novel. That's probably going to be a big win for DC. They've been really making some money off of those. Crime Syndicate, Andy Schmidt, Kieran McCown, Brian Hitch is getting some work in here. It's hard to sell people on a book like this. You know what I mean?
I didn't even pick up the first issue, so I have
I
nothing
feel
to
like
say about it.
I feel like the timing for this is pretty fucked though, because like if I'm gonna read Evil Justice League right now, I feel like I'm gonna be reading Heroes Reborn.
Yeah. Pretty solid art, not a bad story, but again, yeah, it just feels it's the origin story of the crime syndicate, basically. Which,
So
if you
again,
don't know,
exactly
is an evil
like Heroes
version of the
Reborn.
Justice League. Yeah, an evil version of the Justice League from Earth 3, I guess, is where they're from. But just kind of bad. I mean, it's not bad art. It's just, it feels repetitive, man. It feels like they're spinning their wheels, doing the same thing that they've been doing for years now, and I'm just not a fan. We do have a great Carrie Randolph cover of the whatever his name is, Green.
The Power Ring.
Power Ring.
Power Ring. That's right, Power Ring. This is probably the pick of the week over there at DC. Mariko Tamaki, Amankai Nuhulpan doing Crush and Lobo, father and daughter, kicking it for the first time in a book. Sounds pretty cool. Let me see if I can find a preview for this. Go ahead. Any thoughts on this book?
I might check it out. I don't know. It's not very high on my list, honestly. I mean, I haven't really read any of the Teen Titans runs where Crush has been a thing, so I don't really have much attachment to the character. And honestly, Lobo is kind of take it or leave it for me. He's not a draw to a book.
Yeah.
Man, that's weird. Lobo gets so much love, but never sells shit.
Well, Lobo is like the quintessential edgelord,
Sure, like 90s, the epitome of the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only time people gave a fuck about Lobo is when they changed him into something they didn't like. And they didn't read that shit either, which is basically sums up comics.
I bet it's going to be a good issue. I just, I have shit from last week I still in my box that I still need to buy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can justify adding it to my pull list at all.
Yeah, I'm not picking it up. It looks great. But yeah, I'm not picking it up. We do have this horror, The Conjuring, The Lover. Now, this is a couple of comments here. We did have Hill House, which I guess was successful because they're doing more horror, or wasn't successful because they're doing different horror. Very difficult to tell. But this
is just a different franchise,
Yeah, but this is basically a licensed comic.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
based
they've
on the
made
Conjuring universe.
they've made a fuck ton of these Conjuring movies now. So
Yeah,
yeah,
arguably
I mean, it's a draw. You know,
arguably the second best shared movie franchise in history.
It's
Although
fighting Godzilla.
I'm partial to the Fast and the Furious, but whatever.
That one too.
Yeah, great card stock over here. It looks kind of like a tarot card sort of thing going on, like a pulp novel. It should be good though, but I'm not that big into horror comics. I'm definitely not that big into licensed horror comics for a movie franchise that's just okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm with you.
Death of Iris West, some Carrie Bates classic stuff from The Flash, worth getting if you're into that old stuff. Moving on, we don't really have much left here. We do have Green Lantern, of course.
I have been actually digging this new run on Green
Yeah.
Lantern. It hasn't been great, but I like the new setup that he has going. It's basically Green Lantern's a Star Trek now. They have a spaceship. They're going off into unexplored space, and they're gonna go bring some law and justice there.
yeah.
I don't have a preview on this either. Sorry.
I feel like these have been like solid Bs so far.
But
I'm
isn't
with
that every DC book? You need to have an A in there some damn place.
You do.
Well, they got Nightwing.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
I guess that's about it as far as like. Oh, and I guess we can throw Wonder Girl in there now.
Oh man, that's just been one issue. I got to give.
It's one issue, and that's mostly
But-
because of the art. But yeah,
that issue was dope though.
I'm also excited
Harlequin.
to see Joe there. That new Green
Yeah,
Lantern.
Far Sector Green Lantern.
Oh, yeah.
Interact with the main DC.
I mean, Far
universe.
Sector has been dope. It's been one of the
Far
best
Sector's a
things
great
DC's
book.
been having going for a while. And yeah, it'd be cool to see her like with the core Green Lantern cast, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that works out. I need to catch up on this because you guys, I do remember you saying it was like a Star Trek thing now, a new status quo. So I should really check it out. Moving on, Justice League, Bendis and Ram V. Ram V doing that great backup story.
That
Yeah, it's
backup
an A
story is the
backup
main
story.
reason I'm getting this. Yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
A backup story with a C main story, so it kind of averages out to a B.
Great Marquez cover there. Look at the preview here.
Marquez does great line work, but like I feel like he fills out the page too much in a sense, right? Because like barely anything is happening in any of these issues. And part of that is Bendis like really filling out the dialogue and everything, but this is what, the fourth issue of this arc now?
This is issue
And
4.
you easily could have fit everything that's happened into 2 issues, I would say.
Yeah. Only
That's
getting
not a
2 pages
Marquez
preview.
problem. That's definitely a Bendis problem.
Oh, and that's
Well, fair
definitely
enough.
been, that's always been a Bendis problem.
Always
He's
Bendis.
so heavy with the dialogue.
Loves that deconstruction.
Yeah. Man Bat number 5, Second Son, also pretty terrible. Not terrible because it's a bad book, terrible because it's Future State, and Future State is stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm like,
all this future state stuff is starting off with an anchor around its neck,
yeah,
The
man,
event
for
itself
sure.
it wasn't terrible, but it was forgettable, And
Exactly.
It was
As such,
expensive. That was the.
it was
that's-
expensive, yeah.
That is the big thing I remember about Future State. That was the main reason why I never got into new Batman. The next Batman was because it was a $10 book.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
All right, moving on. Another pretty
If you're
big,
charging $10 for a book, it better like come with a fucking batarang or something,
Right.
Right?
Another big release from DC this week. James Tynion's Nice House on the Lake, 12-issue maxi, if they even use that terminology anymore. Alvaro Martinez Bueno. It's a horror book.
I
Yeah,
bet
they've
this
been
will
pushing
fly
this
off
one,
the shelf.
They've been pushing
Oh,
this
this
one really heavily in like the back pages of the DC comics I've been picking up the last couple of weeks. They're
Yeah.
apparently banking pretty heavy on it being good.
Well, Tinian's other horror book, Something is Killing the Children, that book is just flying out of the shelves. You can't
And
find
Department
it
of
anywhere.
Truth is fucking amazing.
Right. So I
really,
expect this book.
DC must have thrown some money at James Tynion because he could have taken this book to literally any publisher, and they would have snatched it up, because he's so hot right now. But not bad
So,
art,
Just to clarify, though, it seems like this has nothing to do with the DC universe, really.
No, this
No,
has nothing.
This is
to
like
do
a
with
Vertigo
DC.
book or a Black Label
No.
book, but
But it's not on either, as far as I know.
Yeah, it's just a book.
Yeah, it's just a book. He's working with his old Detective Comics partner, which is nice. But yeah, we'll just have to see where this one goes. His pally Martin Simmons from over there at Department of Truth is doing a cover. Man, the more I see of Martin Simmons' work, the more I'm just so infatuated with the guy. It's just beautiful artwork. Love his work. Thorns is getting collected. And Sensational Wonder Woman. This is like the other Wonder Woman book. We do have the Yara Flor book, which is, learning who Wonder Woman will be. We have the regular Wonder Woman book where we know what Wonder Woman eventually becomes. But this, I'm not reading this. It's Betcho and Danny, and I'm not reading this. I don't have room. I can't believe it.
Is this the Asgardian stuff?
No, that's the regular Wonder Woman book.
Oh, my mistake.
Yeah. So it's whack, dude. It's a lot of shit.
Too many Wonder Woman books.
Too much Wonder Woman. Way too much Wonder Woman. Suicide Squad has been fun, but kind of uneventful. They're really holding into that, leaning really hard into the whole Red X thing, and I don't give a shit about Red X.
They're 10 years too late for Red X.
Yeah, I mean, he debuted on the Teen Titans cartoon like when I was in like middle school, I think, right?
See, that's way late, man. That's way late. And for some reason, I don't have a preview of Swamp Thing either, which is heartbreaking.
Man, that is heartbreaking because that is the winner over at DC.
Yeah,
I have been loving this Swamp Thing run.
It's been good. Ram V is killing it. It's a $4 book, which again is odd over there at DC. Mike Perkins' art has been spectacular.
Oh, definitely. Dark, creepy. It's a good horror book for being just a mainline DC book.
Ooh, nice Safino cover. So yeah, this one's a $5 because it is the cardstock variant. So just be aware. But yeah, on to everything else. That's it from the Distinguished Competition. These are books coming out Wednesday for everybody else. Previews World actually came through for me and has previews for the for the Marvel stuff. But we'll start at Image. Bliss number 8 is probably the worst book they have on the shelves this week, and it's a great book. Commanders in Crisis is the Orlando book where it's like a comic book event set outside of Big 2. That's a genius idea. It hasn't really been keeping up with the premise, but it's been pretty good.
It's an interesting premise, but you can see why it's never really been done before.
Exactly, because it's very hard to do.
It doesn't quite work. Yeah. Deadly Class, though, recommender. Yeah. I think this is his best book by far. So I'm always on this. Art's always amazing. Wes Craig.
Oh man, I wonder what he's gonna do once this is done, because it's done. I think it's
got to be done soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, like, assuming they're going to end with 50, it's probably like all in the can and just waiting to be published at this point, right?
Yeah, I would think. So yeah, another great series. Deep Beyond, this underwater sort of horror story from Andolfo Ngoy with Andrea Brocardo doing the art. It's been very good. Just your typical horror sort of stuff.
Man, I really like this big resurgence of horror books out lately.
Me too, man.
They're all over the place.
Yeah, me too. Family Tree, Jeff Lemire's family book. It's sort of a family in apocalypse time. It's very complicated. It's a high concept thing from Jeff Lemire where a kid is turning into a tree.
Yep.
Not his best
this is
stuff.
The last issue, right?
This is the finale. Not his best stuff by far, but still, anything Jeff Lemire writes is pretty damn good. Firepower by Kirkman and Samney, fan favorite. You can't go wrong there. It's just suburban action, kung fu, that sort of thing. The 12th issue here is getting a ton of variant covers, including a Liefeld variant.
Oh gosh,
man.
Really?
There's Eric Larson doing a variant. I think this is Carrie Randolph doing a variant. Just, man, so much. And a Pride Month variant. So much. So yeah, Firepower is good. Inkblot is good. Inkblot is the Image comic book that is being written with the traditional Marvel method that even Marvel doesn't even really use anymore, where the writer just basically writes a synopsis, gives it to the artist draws it, and then the writer goes back and inserts dialogue, where it's supposed to be. And
I mean, the reason Marvel used the Marvel method is because Stan Lee was the only writer there. So
exactly.
Now it's kind of a, forced innovation on their part.
Yeah. So yeah, that's not been bad either. Inkblot, it's been pretty good. Noctera's getting a bunch of second printings for issue 2 and 3, and then of course issue number 4 is out. Beautiful Jenny Frison cover of the lead character. Tony S. Daniels doing a great job inside as well. But man, that's gorgeous. Love Jenny Frison. But yeah, it's a post-apocalyptic story where everything has gone dark and humans have been basically infected with this weird darkness, thing that I don't know. It's good. It's pretty good. Savage Dragon always win. Shadecraft's getting some printings. Ultra Mega's getting some second and third printings.
That's
and then
good.
The Walking Dead Deluxe, which is basically just
Always with The
20-year-old
Walking
comics
Dead.
that are recolored.
Yep.
Moving
And
on to
still
Dark
people-
Horse.
Those
There's
books
actually
still sell.
way less Walking Dead books than they usually have, I think.
Yeah, there's only 4 variants for issue 16. Well, 3 variants in the regular cover for issue 16. And they're adding more, man. They're always, because it's selling. It's surprising to me. It's shocking to me how
sells.
much that book sells. Yeah. All right, let's get into Dark Horse. There is at least one book at Dark Horse I want to talk about. Apex Legends is not the one, but that should be pretty popular. Dead Dog's Bite is fun. Hellboy stuff is actually the Hidden Land, with young Hellboy. But the book I want to talk about is The Worst Dudes. Aubrey Sitterson is writing it. Former editor former editor over at Marvel. He was on G.I. Joe for a while before. He was basically canceled because of some shit he wrote on social media.
Yeah, man. Don't open your mouth on 9/11, dude.
Yeah, don't open your mouth on 9/11, especially when you're the G.I. Joe writer. But hey, you live, you learn. He's moved on to bigger and better things. He's written a bunch of stuff since then. And this looks great. It's sort of a off-color, dirty cop, a drugged-up backup dancer, and an angsty adolescent god. The worst dudes in the galaxy are on a raunch-filled hunt for a missing pop star. So really, it's a dirty, buddy team-up with a bunch of scumbags. I'm excited about it. It looks pretty fun. It looks really fun.
I'll probably give this a check out. I like to see what Sitterson's up to.
Yeah, man. I always get really upset when I think about his run being canceled because we were going to Cobra Law and we were doing a lot of shit.
I was just upset because it had a giant, massive cliffhanger that it never settled, never resolved.
No, yeah. So yeah, what could have been if Aubrey had a manager for a social media account? Nothing over at IDW, just some Marvel All Ages stuff. My Little Pony, counting off, almost there to issue number 100, and Sonic the Hedgehog trade. So kind of a weak week for IDW. They just can't seem to get their shit together in terms of schedules. But moving on to the House of Ideas, Alien getting a second printing. Amazing Spider-Man number 67. We're still getting primed up. We're in the middle of the Chameleon Conspiracy, but we're getting ramped up for the Sinister War. Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah, it's Sinister War. This is like the prelude to it.
Yeah, this is like an arc, a short arc that is going to prelude into a huge event, which is going to have its own miniseries and then
tie-ins and all kinds of
shit.
bullshit.
Was that Peter's sister there, or
no? This is Betty Brant.
No, on the previous page.
Her? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, he has a sister named
Maybe.
Teresa now.
Yeah, Teresa, who's a super spy.
Oh my gosh. That's how far behind I am. But it looks like Peter's ex-old lady is knocked up, which is always awesome. Have baby mama drama in your comics. Whatever. Black Cat number 7 looks fine. It's been an okay book. It is getting some of those Pride variant covers. What else we got? Hellions number 12. Here we go.
Hellfire Gala.
The Hellfire Gala is beginning. We had an in-depth look at these last night. It's weird because we're getting 3-page previews instead of the usual 2-page previews that come with the
Oh, wow. We're getting spoiled.
Yeah, we're getting spoiled.
It's because Mr. Sinister is all of that page.
Yeah. I'm just here for the fashion.
Hey man, they got to get that hype train rolling here.
Yeah.
I love how like
I am.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I am weirdly invested in the fashion, like you were just talking about.
Right? The Havoc is like getting all ready, but the rest of the team is like, we didn't even get invited, all pissed off. So they're gonna end up crashing the party. You know they are. And they've been teasing it a little bit, but this awesome relationship between Psylocke and Grey Crow, which has kind of been, burgeoning a little bit. Because of Wild Child, really, which is the weirdest part of it, It's fun, dude. It's really cool.
It is fun. It's a fun relationship.
Yeah. And man,
it's a really fun book.
Psylocke looking great. Yeah, it is a really fun book. And Heroes Reborn, number 5, as we get into fake Batman's life and legend in this made-up universe that everyone is convinced is Mephisto, but I'm still not. I'm still not convinced. I know there's another angle, damn it. There's got to be. Jason Aaron's way too smart for that, man.
I don't think that there's going to be some extra twist to this, man. I really don't.
There's got to be, man. There's got to be. So this is going to be the origin story. There's got to be, damn it. So
it's not like it's bad if there isn't, man. I mean, I feel
no, it's not if there isn't, but
they're not. This is not meant to be a twisty, turny type of story. I mean, it's pretty on the nose.
I want a twisty, turny story.
Well, fuck you. That's not what this is.
That's not what. What about Jason Aaron's Avengers run makes you think it's going to be a twisty, turny story? It's been pretty in your face the whole time.
The only thing that leads me to believe that is the fact that it's been Mephisto the whole time. It's like Mephisto along. But there's got to be something else there.
That's the whole point of the whole run, is that it's been Mephisto the whole time.
I'm not buying it.
Whatever. Okay, so this issue though,
it's all about fake Batman.
Fake Batman going into fake Arkham Asylum to deal with his fake rogues gallery.
Exactly.
Honestly, that sounds pretty cool. I'm looking forward to. Like, Batman has one of the best and most famous rogues galleries in all of comics, and it'll be interesting, I think, to see like the Marvelized version of it. Like,
I think
we already know
Goblin.
Yeah, we already know
Joker.
that Goblin is the Joker and Deadpool's Harley Quinn, and I'll be interested to see like who's going to be the Two-Face, who's going to be like the Killer Croc, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you think Vulture is like Penguin or some shit like that?
I'm assuming that they're going to continue with Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. Not that Deadpool is part of his Rogues Gallery, but Green Goblin definitely. It feels like they're taking parts of Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and parts of Steve Rogers, Captain America, and sort of pushing them together to create Nighthawk. You know what I mean? In a way.
I suppose so.
And a dash of Batman, of course. But isn't everybody a dash of Batman already?
Just a little bit,
Yeah. A very cool cover here, man. I love this. I love that. Very well done by Juan Cabal. And we have the action figure variant, which, man, what's his name? Christopher? Yeah, John Tyler Christopher. Man, this dude's made a career off these variants. Remember when Star Wars, like the first 25 issues of Star Wars, each one had a variant? That's insane. Moving on to American Knights. This is the Commissioner Gordon. Gotham Central, I think, is what Taylor said, which was so appropriate. Pastiche, Paul Grist, Chris Allen, $5. And I think we're going to get a preview. Yeah, we got a preview. It's basically Luke Cage as Commissioner Gordon.
Which is cool with me.
Yeah.
Man.
With, I guess Daredevil is Batman in this scenario.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Hush. Maybe he's Hush.
Maybe
he's kind of like a Hush style character,
Well, irregardless, I think that this seems like a pretty fun premise. And I'm definitely looking forward to this one.
Yeah, me too. Great art there. Real grisly, sort of gritty looking art. So, yeah, that should be interesting. bunch of variant covers for that as well. And then finally, I think this is the one I was most apprehensive about when the event was first announced. Tim Seeley and Dan Jurgens doing Double Action #1. But now that I've actually read some of the tie-ins,
Right now
that
we
are
know what this is actually about. I'm
Yeah.
excited for this.
and a lot of the tie-ins really leaned hard into them being like actual comics starring these actual characters and not just comics portraying an alternate universe. Going as far in one of the books as having a fake letters page,
That was
which I
fun,
loved.
yeah.
That was very fun. So this is doing that, leaning way hard into that with the throwback looking artwork, the throwback costumes, which never existed, telling you a story about the night Falcon died, who was, which is where I got the idea that Nighthawk is basically, half Captain America, half Peter Parker with a pinch of Batman. Falcon is his sidekick, and he gets killed. And it's a play off of the night Gwen Stacy gets murdered by the Green Goblin. And
Robin,
man, I'm
yeah.
all over this. This looks so freaking fun, dude.
Yeah, it does, and that's what this whole event has been about, is to having fun with this new status quo. And this is definitely an event that, or this issue is definitely something that has been hyped up in one of the previous issues. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I really like
I
how
love
they're
this throwback art.
Yeah, I really love how they're leaning into like that Silver Age, Bronze Age sensibilities here, but with the art, and, like the panel layout, and all this good stuff.
Turn your toy shelf into the world's slickest showroom. That's an ad. That's like an in-page ad that they used to do back in the day. Just so fun. We also have a variant for that, which is way throwback, and I love it. This is actually a lot more reminiscent to the panel where Peter is holding a dead, lifeless Gwen Stacy and pissed off at the world. So I love that. So very fun stuff. Here's one of Taylor's picks for next week already. Well, he's not going to be here, so he'll get his pick in early.
I've got Immortal Hulk #47, #1 pick. I'll go ahead and tell you.
Yeah. Fun book. It has been fun since the beginning. It looks like the Avengers are finally coming to take on the Green Goliath. And only a few more issues left to this run, which is going to be sad when it's over. They are teasing some things. Al Ewing was mentioned in something that Ram V posted. So maybe Ram V is getting a Hulk book, which would be great. If anybody's going to take over Al Ewing, Ram V would definitely be the guy I would choose.
I think he'd do a good job, but it's going to be kind of like with Donny Cates taking over for Thor. It's like an impossible standard to live up to at this point.
It is. As long as he can put his own spin on it, which I'm sorry, Donny Cates really hasn't done. His spin is basically J. Michael Straczynski's spin with a lot more edge.
Oh, I like J. Michael Straczynski's Thor a lot better, to be honest.
Oh, I did too. But it's basically the same run. It's just Cates is a lot edgier with his shit, man.
Yeah, I can see the parallels, but I hope that whoever takes over for the Hulk after this, do a hard break. Differentiate yourself as much as possible.
I think you've got to get back to basics almost in terms of Hulk, being just a normal hero doing the Avengers, just normal. You have to almost go a full 180 away from this amazing premise, that Al Ewing, pushed for this book, but you kind of got to move away from the hard shit and lean into the, I don't know.
Yeah, but weirdly enough, when a book is terrible, you should be doing a hard break from whatever came before. But when it's really, really good like this, you should also do a hard break from what came before.
Yeah, it's hard to, because you're not going to be able to emulate it effectively. You're just not.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah. Iron Fist, probably the surprise hit of the year for me. Heart of the Dragon from living legend Larry Hama and Dave Wachter, who is getting a lot more work. He was in the last previews. He's got a lot of stuff coming up.
This is just a really fun action book. Larry Hama knows what he's doing writing action books. He's been doing G.I. Joe forever. He brings that same sort of Snake Eyes energy to this. It's just great. It's a great throwback.
Yeah, this has been a good, fun kung fu movie vibe that it's been running with this whole time, and definitely this is the last issue, right?
Yeah, this is the last
yeah,
issue.
I think this is it. But they would be dumb to let this be the actual last issue. This book has earned, in my opinion, a second volume
It has been
everything that's going on.
years since I read an Iron Fist book, but this one drew me back in, and I have been enjoying the hell out of it.
I mean, Iron Fist hasn't been good if they're using a 15-year-old piece of artwork from David Aja as literally the logo for the character.
That was the last time I read an Iron Fist
That's
book.
the last time he was good. That's the last time he was good, man.
He was
not to
good
take
in that
anything
Carrie
away from
Andrews
Ed
run.
Not to take anything away from who is it? Ed Bryson's run.
Ed
No,
Bryson
it was
run.
Carrie
Andrews.
Yeah. But he got dunked on by Marvel. He had all kinds of ideas, and
Yeah, he did.
Nothing ever happened with that. But he's gonna have some shit with Amazing Fantasy though. Just wait for that book. And then I want to take a look at the variant cover for this by Takashi Okazaki. Man, that's rad. With a Koye, I guess that's supposed to be a Koye, and Danny up front. Oh, that's rad, man.
That is
love
a good
that
cover.
Yeah,
sure.
love that style to that artwork. We're really getting into some nonsense now. The Iron Man annual, I don't even want to look at it. Annuals are not what they used to be.
No, they're not, especially over at Marvel.
Yeah. Annuals used to be like a break. Anybody could jump in and pick it up and have a great time reading it, and you just get a good story starring that character. It may sort of, include some angles of the current ongoing story, but usually you didn't need that current ongoing story to enjoy the annual. Now, the annuals have literally nothing to do with that, but they're also not standalone stories. You've got to read 5 annuals in order to understand the story, because the story that's being told is actually Infinite Destinies.
It's like a mini event just between annuals though, and it's dumb. It's really dumb.
It's a dumb idea, man. It's just a dumb idea. And no, I'm off of this. I'm not picking this up. I don't care
because
how
what
good
it
the art
means,
is.
because what it does is it makes the annuals an all or nothing affair. Either I'm
gonna buy every fucking
either
annual.
I'm gonna pick up every annual, or I'm not gonna pick up a single annual, and that's just the way it is. And I'm not gonna pick up a single annual because these never mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's involving the Infinity Stones too, which I don't care about anymore.
Who gives a shit?
They're getting played out at this
Again,
point.
they're using a 10-year-old logo with that Infinity thing.
Yeah, dude, that's a 10-year-old logo.
Yeah, oh God,
100%.
that really come out like 10 years. Fuck, wow.
Yes, dude, it's been that long, dude. It's been that long.
Wow.
Marauders 21.
I don't know how to take that, honestly.
This is probably where Hellions is going to be fun. Don't get me wrong, but this is where the gala is really going to begin.
Yeah, I assume that this is the required reading for the gala event.
The real start of it, definitely, because this is like Emma's gala, kind of.
Yo, it's her thing, man. It's her baby. It's her shindig.
Yeah.
Just awesome. You see all the ships showing up of everybody, all the world leaders and heroes showing up. The FF, come on, wear a tux. Come on, dress to impress.
Yeah, Thing didn't even wear a shirt.
Yeah, Thing didn't even wear a fucking shirt, man. It's fucking stupid. Iron Man shows up. I'm wearing my suit. Idiot. This is so interesting right here. Reed and Xavier talking, because there's a lot of bad blood there between them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's probably my number one pickup for the week, man. I am so excited to get the gala actually underway and see everything that's going down. Not much else. We do have Nonstop Spider-Man, which is a favorite around here.
Hell yeah.
Joe Kelly, Chris Bocciolo. Yeah, great book. It's really kinetic, fast.
The only Spider-Man book worth reading right now, to be honest.
Sad, but
Miles
true.
Morales is good.
Miles Morales. Yes,
the only Peter Parker.
Only Peter Parker book worth reading right now.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Miles Morales has been actually really good. But yeah, see, everything on the page is just in motion. The tires are turning on this page. And the things are moving, and every panel is just so kinetic.
This book, like, kinetic is the great word to use there. It's just every page of this has so much energy to it, you know?
Yeah. And even if it's not like emotion, the emotion that during, I don't even want to call them really breaks because they're breaks for the eyes, but when you actually dig into what's going on.
Just look at this right here.
There's overdosing and there's all kinds of crazy shit going on in this book.
Well, just look at this page right here. This is actually a pretty boring scene of just a character walking from room to room, but you see with the panel design how it's tilted. You have the arrows pointing from panel to panel. It gives it a sort of motion to it that other books just don't have usually.
Yeah. So yeah, props to Joe Kelly for designing a book. That's really the only thing you can do. You know, he designed this book, and then for Chris Bocciolo for following through on that design just perfectly. Odd to me that this doesn't have a variant cover because you know this book is fucking selling.
It's got to be.
It's got.
If there's any justice in this world, this book
Right.
is selling like hotcakes. Yeah.
Savage Avengers.
Oh, we're not going to look at Planet-Sized X-Men?
It's a
that's
poster.
a poster.
Oh, it's a poster. My mistake.
The poster. Yeah, that's not going to come out till after the gala.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, actually, I think it might be the finale issue.
Yeah, it's the finale of the gala.
Yeah, so that'll be
where Magneto murders somebody.
You know,
I still can't believe they fucking just told us that like a month ago. You know,
the weird thing about it is it's got to be a human being, right? You can't murder mutants.
Yeah, I mean, they murder each other all the fucking time. They have a goddamn ceremony where they murder each other. So yeah, Magneto's gonna have to murder. Do you think it's gonna be someone we know or just some like?
Oh, it's got to be someone we know.
Yeah,
got to be somebody important.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Star Wars Bounty Hunters. This actually starts the main book. There was 4 books that were preludes to this, but this starts Charles Soule's big bounty hunter epic, where just a bunch of the galaxy's best and brightest bounty hunters are searching for the entombed remains. Remains probably isn't the best word, but
no,
they're looking for Han
Solo
into Carbonite.
Yeah,
they're looking for Han into Carbonite. I hate the art in this. It's washed out. It's not even the art; it's the colors that are.
It's not. Yeah, it looks a little like neon. I guess is kind of the word I use.
Yeah, I don't like it. Oh well, look, you say that. Here's a whole scene with just a bunch of neon. So maybe that's what they were going for.
I guess.
But
it's not a good look.
Yeah, and it's way too many books for me, man, to fill.
Yeah, you were showing us that checklist a few weeks ago, and it's like 60 fucking books, right?
No, they're doing it with the High Republic book too. They've announced 2 more High Republic books for.
That's crazy.
August.
Remember when Star Wars was only like 2 or 3 books, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
And it was great, dude. It was Star Wars and it was Vader.
And then you had the third one, which was the rotating book.
Yeah, I love that. They had like Star Wars and Vader were like ongoings, and then like you tag in like Chewbacca, and then like
Leia
go
had
over to like
book.
that was good stuff. I really do miss that approach. I thought they had like a good formula there.
That was just too much, man.
The fuck out of it, man.
I mean, printing Star Wars comics is akin to printing money, so I guess I can't really blame them, you know?
Right.
True. Moving on, Way of X getting a second printing. The United States of Captain America is actually getting a poster, and I didn't look at the other poster. This is going to be for the wraparound cover for issue number 1. Man, it looks so good.
I'm looking forward to this. I
am too.
Yeah,
I really am. I haven't enjoyed a Captain America book. No offense to Ta-Nehisi Coates, he's a great writer, but his Captain America's lame. It sucks. I have not enjoyed it at all. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then finally, X-Force, my favorite of the fashion variants has got to be Kitty. I love it. She got a little
that Kitty's on the X-Force book, but
that is weird. But I guess they had Emma on Marauders, so I guess that was already taken.
They mixed up all that shit. She got a little silver bullet on her X brooch right here, which I love as from her continuity.
I
love wearing the Star of David.
Yeah, I love Kitty leaning into being the pirate queen,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's a perfect mix of nostalgia and her current status quo in this costume.
Her and Nightcrawler, both of them lean really hard into their pirate swashbuckler ways.
Retroactively, did you think it's kind of weird that like Nightcrawler is not in the pirate book?
It's almost too on the nose, I would think.
But it's on the nose because it's a perfect fit,
But
it just works.
I want to think that in Hickman.
I like Nightcrawler where he is now.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true.
I think Hickman knew that eventually Krakoa was going to need a spiritual center, and that Nightcrawler was going to be the fulcrum point of that.
I mean, not only did Hickman know that, he knew we'd be talking about it right now, today. He has all of that planned out so far.
Destiny Diaries. He got his own Destiny Diaries.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. That's probably what he calls like the big book of all his status quo shit that he's got going on. So yeah, X-Force. They're the CIA, Krakoan CIA. The role they're taking on during the gala is basically security. So they're all going to be dressed basically the same, and they're going to be throwing out any party crashers, and I'm sure there's going to be more than a few.
I think it's a really good look for Wolverine and for Domino. I don't know that Quentin wears it quite as well, though.
Nah, I think they look okay with their matching outfits, but Quentin Quire to me never looks better than when he's wearing a Magneto Was Right shirt.
Well, maybe that's
my favorite.
Maybe that's my hang up, because to me, Quentin Quire's always the kid wearing that like trying too hard punk rock look.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the whole last arc was all about. Was about moving him beyond
his
that.
image.
Yeah,
him changing his image. I could take it or leave it.
Hasn't quite worked.
Yeah, I could take it or leave it. It was some good filler though. I mean, it was still entertaining.
It's definitely filler though.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go, man. Awesome stuff for the Hellfire Gala. I cannot wait. Moving on to everybody else. Dynamite does not have much. They got another Betty Page book. It's very weird to me that these Betty Page books sell as well as they do. But it's basically like all the other.
They must, right? I mean, they throw these things out there like a fucking machine gun fire. You know?
It's all the other cheesecake that Dynamite it puts out. Betty Page just seems to fit in that perfectly. She was like one of the original like bakers of the cheesecake, that was like her whole shtick. She was groundbreaking in that. So it works, in the themes that they push on. Invincible Red Sonja issue number 2. It's Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti. First issue was okay, but it's just Red Sonja. You know what I mean? You're not going to get anything innovative here. You're not getting
nothing new
here.
Yeah,
nothing
I
new.
mean, you know what you're in for, which that's not nothing. I mean, that's
it's not nothing. I know. I like reading about fantasy chicks in brass bikinis kicking ass. There's a place for that in comics for sure. Then Gail Simone's entire run on Red Sonja is collected for $75, which is a great buy right there. Signed. That's actually signed by Gail Simone for $75.
Well, I mean, as always with the collections, like, if it's one that you haven't checked out before, you probably should check it out at some point. So this is
and this one's signed. And this one's signed. So Vampirella number 20, and then Vampirella 1992 one shot with the Virgin variant, which is very hard to get, but they're only selling it for $5 as far as I know. So that's a good pickup. Moving on, Boom, not much from them either. Unkindness of Ravens is collected. The Buffyverse continues. Another collection. Second printings for Magic and Proctor Valley Road. Really, the only thing they have brand new is Basilisk number 1. Cullen Bunn's new horror book with Jonas Scharf. Who can stop the Chimera?
The Chimera.
The Chimera.
You claim Cullen Bunn does good horror books, so I'll check.
Yeah, Cullen Bunn does great horror. He's killing it on the Shadow Man book right now. It's the most fun I've had with a Valiant comic since Ivar Time Walker, probably 10 years ago now. But great art by Scharf here. It looks kind of maybe like a zombie sort of thing, like a breakout sort of thing. I'm not really sure, but it's horror, and it's horror from Cullen Bunn. Dude knows how to do it. So. And Boom Studio is really hitting really hard with everything that they've been doing so far. So, or at least recently, Boom has these things that they do for their debut issues called the 1 per store variant. It's exactly what it sounds like. Every store who orders the book gets a 1 per store variant. Basically, what that means for the shops is they can charge more for that variant, that exclusive variant, and basically pay for the entire, 20 issues or whatever or 20 copies of issue number 1 that earns them that variant. Which is
good
just
business.
Wonderful. It is very good business. Really good business. A great Christian Ward cover here. Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. And then everything else.
That's what bad ideas should be doing. You know,
Yeah,
not
bad
not the
ideas
bad
are
idea that
terrible.
bad idea is actually.
I
doing.
mean, they called themselves Bad Idea. What the fuck were you expecting?
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, I don't even want to talk about it. It's terrible.
I mentioned it to
Backfired.
David on Sunday. I'm sure he'll talk your ear off
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. But yeah, I have nothing to talk about in the extra books this week, as far as I know. The extra books, the smaller press books, I should call them. Just because there's not a lot coming out, dude.
It's that
Everfrost from Black
Everfrost.
Mask, it looks okay. Yeah, dude. Just there's nothing here. Markiplier, this is like a podcaster or a streamer or whatever the hell.
Really?
Yeah. Moths #1 is an AWA Upshot book, but it doesn't really look that appealing to me. It is getting it's J. Michael Straczynski writing it.
He's
So
always solid.
He should be solid, but it's just
That's a
not getting enough.
bankable name.
Exactly. It's just not getting enough buzz for me to really care. I'll read it, and if it makes my top 3, I'll talk about it next week. Out of Body #1 is an Aftershock book. I mean, I guess it's worth mentioning. Milligan and Miranda working on it, but again, it's not a lot of buzz.
Really trippy.
Yeah, it looks like it's got some trippy shit going on, but I don't know. But yeah, that's really it, man.
A new Rick and Morty book.
Yeah, it's always good to talk about Rick and Morty books, because if you ever have liked Rick and Morty, you will always like a Rick and Morty comic. Always. They're always spot on. I haven't been let down once. So yeah, that's really it. Serial #4 is Terry Moore's, new ongoing. If you're a Terry Moore fan, that's definitely worth picking up. But other than that, gentlemen, Visitor. I mean, how long has this book been going on over at fucking Valiant? This book, I think the last time this book came out was before the lockdowns, dude.
Oh gosh.
Jeepers.
Yeah, so they've really been dragging their feet on that, but they were pencils down, when the lockdown hit. They stopped paying everybody. So yeah, basically that's it, guys. A relatively light week, especially considering all the awesome we had last week. It was just huge. But there's not a single image book on my radar this week, even though last week I read four different image books that could have made my top 3 easily. Basically for me this week, it's the gala, the Hellfire Gala.
Hellfire Gala?
Definitely
Heroes
Hellfire Gala.
Reborn.
Heroes Reborn is still strong?
Yeah. Only thing on DC worth talking about is Swamp Thing. But yeah, it's definitely Heroes Reborn and the Gala and Nonstop Spider-Man.
Yeah, Nonstop Spider-Man gets a shout out from me. But Worst Dudes by Aubrey Sitterson over at Dark Horse. I'm really excited to read that. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to read it as soon as we end this show.
Well, don't let us keep you.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a little lighter of a week, but a lot of cool shit going on. We're going to talk about just about all of that shit on our next show Sunday night. Come back, check it out then. We'll have a whole bunch of news, reviews of this week's books, and whole sections on the Hellfire Gala and Heroes Reborn. So we will definitely be leaning into those hard. Come back tomorrow night. We're going to do Marketplace if Jules is around. TBD, to be decided when and if that happens. The Bullies had a show last night. Find them on this channel. Go to outrightgeekery.com. Find links to everything we got going on, including the Bullies, social media, and shit like that. Big Willie's got all kinds of streams happening all throughout the week. So, man, it's magic all the time over here. Keep coming back. We're going to be doing a Star Trek thing soon. More movies, more lists, all kinds of shit as soon as we
might even have a name for the Star Trek thing before too
I think we're just going to call it This Geek and Comics Star Trek thing. TGiC Star Trek thing, where we just talk about Star Trek for an hour.
What was the one we were throwing out there, like where all geeks have gone before, or something like that?
No, that's too derivative. I want to be dumb and stupid because we're not bringing anything new to the table.
Well, that's kind of implied by the name there.
That's true. Where every other fucking geek has gone before. We'll find a name. A rose by any other name. Alas. But thanks everybody for hanging out. But most of all, thanks to these two jokes for hanging out with this joke.
Anytime, man.
We're gonna do it again next time.
Same geek time. Same geek channel.
I love it when just one of you guys do it. Eventually, at one point, it's just gonna be me and Taylor doing an episode, and he's gonna have to fucking do it. It's gonna happen.
Good luck with that, man.
Oh,
Right,
man.